The person who you are today is actually a creation of the past. You can break the cycle. Hey, what's up guys? It's Sarah. I'm back at it again with another video. One thing I want to talk about today is self-concept and how it is so crucial to get you unstuck if you are in your journey of manifestation. Maybe you heard the term self-concept floating around the internet a lot these days if you're into the manifestation and the personal development content. So I believe this is really the key to becoming unstuck and getting your bigger desires to manifest. Once you change your self-concept, you also get into identity shifting entirely. So what is self-concept? I would define this as a summary of who you are as a person and how you see yourself, including all those beliefs and values that you hold about yourself. And here's the thing, depending on what you're manifesting and how far away you are from the desire, you might have to do a lot of changes to that self-concept of how you view yourself especially. But if it's something that seems like it's not that much of a deal because it's not very distant from your current reality, where you feel like you can easily have that desire, that probably tells you that you don't really have to work on your self-concept that much. And I feel like we intuitively kind of know all of this, yet sometimes we aren't taking the right steps or the logical steps because like we're too close to home. So if that sounds still abstract to you, let me give you some examples. Let's say you want to become a content creator and you start from zero. So obviously that involves a lot of action in the 3D world, right? And honestly, let me just say this, so many people never even take action and they just fail right there. But let's say you're getting started, okay? Here's the catch. Maybe you start posting and it doesn't really go well. And one day you're feeling like it, and then the next day you aren't feeling like it, and then you skip, or another day you just get distracted, so you aren't really consistent. And then you're gonna start to have negative feelings about the whole thing and it not really progressing. But here's the thing, if you applied self-concept in the situation, it would change how you approach the entire thing. Because imagine instead if you would state to yourself that you already are a content creator and that you're getting paid and that you have an audience that is waiting for you to post, guess what you would do? You would show up. Therefore, you have to show up and deliver quality work, and as a result, your whole workflow will change and your attitude would change, where you would prioritize differently and you wouldn't care if you're maybe not in the mood, because you know that you're getting paid, you know that there's people waiting for you, you see? And as far as your inner dialogue, that would immediately change. Because this is what happens. If you state your desire like this, you're using the law of assumption because you're assuming it's done. So therefore, you're stepping into that role of the person who already has it, right? So now with the law of assumption, you repeat it back to yourself throughout the day. And then those conflicting voices in the background, you'll start to notice them and you start to question them. And the usual negative self-talk, like, oh, no one likes what I post, or no one cares what I post, I'm not worthy to be seen, or it makes me feel weird, it makes me feel exposed, you automatically notice it and you have to question it. And you got to work through it because, again, if you already wear this content creator, you apply this as a self-concept with the law of assumption, it means that you're already getting paid. So you couldn't be thinking this way. You couldn't be thinking, oh my God, I feel insecure, I'm not in the mood, I get to skip today. So your whole energy of approaching the entire thing would be different. And I'm telling you, those voices that you'll hear, the negative self-talk, it would stand out to you so much more now. Because here's the thing, when you're trying to change your life, if you're trying to do something different than before, it's really difficult because as humans, we are these creatures of habits, right? With using the self-concept, you just see how there's this discrepancy of, oh, I believe this, but I'm trying to be this. I just noticed that if you don't do it, it gets so much harder to shift because you get stuck in your old identity and your old self-concept, and therefore the negative self-talk may not even stand out to you until you really force yourself to go against the habits and everything else. So you see, if you apply this self-concept the right way, you're shifting your entire identity. And And this is really why I like this exercise of writing down your intention and asking, what is the person that already has your desire? What is that person like? What is she like? What are her thoughts like? What does she believe about herself? What are her habits? How does her day look like? And you write all of that out, and then you see where you have to think very differently, where you have to adapt new habits and all of that, where you have to prioritize differently. And that process, you can also call it reverse engineering, and it is so powerful because you can really morph into this new person and completely shift how you see yourself. And you will always get some kind of positive change from it, guaranteed. And I can just tell you for myself, I got rid of so many negative habits just because of that. And also, if you're trying to change something, again, you have to stop to identify with your past and with who you are today. Because if you are identifying with your past, it means you're probably identifying with your struggles. And I just really wish that I knew this sooner, because again, I can tell you that from my mid to my late 20s, I had a lot of really toxic habits, and I was working at night, and as a result I was drinking frequently. And no, I wouldn't get super drunk. Maybe once a week I would get drunk, but the other nights I would just be tipsy. In total 4 times a night, that's already a lot. And then on top of it, I was also partying. Don't do it, guys. And yeah, then I would oversleep and just waste my days and just wake up feeling like garbage the next day, have no structure in the day, and just lose time. And even though I hated it, the mistake that I kept making, and this is why I was in this toxic loop for several years, to be honest, is because I kept identifying with this thing that I didn't want. I didn't want to be like this, yet I kept identifying with it like, this is who I am. Then I got just really depressed. But the right way would have been to completely disassociate and create this new self-concept and to start identifying with my desires instead. But I didn't do it, and yeah, as a result, I was really stuck in this toxic loop. And once I said, hey, this is not who I am, and once I started identifying with my goals instead and started reverse engineering of, okay, how would this person actually act, then it made me shift my habits and my thinking about myself. And it really makes me think of Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. His books, some people complain that they're a lot to, stomach if you read them, but you can also get them as audiobooks. I think he does fantastic work. And yeah, this is really what it is. As humans, we are these creatures of habits. So by our very nature, we will always identify with the past. And the person who you are today is actually a creation of the past. It's your past self-concept. So if you want to create powerful change, if you want to manifest something big, you have to change that. You have to change your whole identity, and you have to stop to identify with your struggles, even if they currently still appear in your 3D reality. Remember, they're just a manifestation from your past beliefs and action, and you can break the cycle. So when you change your self-concept, things can manifest at light speed. And this is how you turn situations around quickly. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to streamline your process of manifesting money, especially specific amounts, then grab my new Money Magnetizer Toolkit. It's linked below, or if you want to work with me directly, you can book a call with me, and it's all linked in the description box. I see you in the next video. Bye guys!